Good morning. Today we are going to talk about sex chromosomes, which are X and Y. So in this lesson, you have to understand how sex is determined and inherited, and also you have to know that some genes are sex-linked, and you will understand what do we mean by sex-linked. Now, if you look at this picture, you will find that we have a complete set of human chromosomes, which is called a karyotype. So here we have a complete set of human chromosomes. This set of human chromosomes is called a karyotype. And we said before that we have 46 chromosomes, which are 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay? So if you focus at the picture, you will find that all of the chromosomes are arranged in pairs, but here we have two chromosomes which are different size and they don't form a homologous pair. So X is long and Y is short, so they are not homologous pair. These two chromosomes are the sex chromosomes. So this short, long chromosome and this short chromosome are the sex chromosomes. So all the chromosomes above for features and disease or whatever, but the last two chromosomes are the sex chromosomes. So here in pair 23, you find that one of the chromosome is long, which is X chromosome, and the second one is short, which is Y chromosome. So the pair of the chromosomes for males are XY. So this or these chromosomes actually for male gamete or for male cell. Why? Because we have X and Y. So the pair of the chromosome for males are XY and for females are XX. So that will tell us how determines the sex for the children. Now I'm going to give you more than one note to understand how can we determine the sex of the children. Okay, the first note is the man's sperm determines the sex of his children. The man's sperm, so the cell from the man, determines and tell us what is the sex of the children because it has a Y chromosome. So Y chromosome determines the sex of the children. Okay? So Y chromosome makes the child male, and X chromosome, by presence of XX, make the child female. You will understand it more later on. Just wait. Now you have to know that in general, female chromosomes are XX. So if we have X instead of Y here, so this cell will be for female. Okay. So for female we have XX chromosomes and for male XY. So the presence of Y tells us that this child is male. Okay. Now here we have two cells. One from the father, which is in male sex organ, which is testis, and the second from the mother, which is in female sex organ, which is inside the ovary. Now the male cell, this male cell has XY, and as we say that presence of Y tells us that this cell for male. Okay? So when this cell divides, it will give us X gamete and Y gamete. What about the female cell? XX. So all female chromosomes are XX. When it divides, it will give us two gametes. Both are the same, which is X. Okay? Now let's find the probabilities of the first generation. Here we have the probabilities of, or the ratio of the first generation. Now, X from the father with X from the mother, the first possible child will be female. XX for female. Now, Y from the father and X from the mother, the second possible child is male. Why? Because here we have Y. The third child, also we have X from female and Y from male, so that will give us another male child. And the last possible, X from the father and X from the mother, that will give us female. So the ratio here between male and female is 1:1. So 1 female, 1 male, 1 female, and 1 male. Okay? So if the offspring has XX chromosomes, so the child will be female. But if it has XY, so the child will be male. So the result is the presence of Y chromosome will make the offspring male. So the note was the man's sperm determine the sex of the children. Okay, so now we understand this note, how the man's sperm determine the sex of the children. Now, you have to know that sex chromosomes can carry two things. So in general, sex chromosomes can carry two things. The first thing, genes concerned with sexual development. So, sex chromosomes can carry genes which are concerned with sexual development. What do you mean by sexual development? Or how sex chromosomes can carry genes concerned with sexual development? Actually, we have two things or two examples here. For example, sex organs. We said before that for male we have 6 organs and for female we have 6 organs. So, sex chromosomes can carry those genes which let the sex organs develop. Okay? And also, sex chromosomes can carry genes which determine the position of fat stores. So, in our body we have fat stores. Sex chromosomes carry the genes which determine the position of fat stores. So, those two examples are genes concerned with sexual development. Sexual development. Okay? Now, the second thing that sex chromosomes can carry is a few genes code for characteristics. Those characteristics are not concerned with sex. So, the genes which code for characteristics, they are not concerned with sex. So, they will not affect the sex organs or the fats in the body. Okay? Actually, these characteristics are called sex length, or those chromosomes or those genes are called sex length. Okay, So sex-linked characteristic is the characteristic which carried by the sex chromosome, and this sex chromosome is X. So this chromosome should be X, because we said that Y cannot carry any characteristic or any chromosome. Okay, sorry, any characteristic without a chromosome. Okay, so for example, the gene for the color blindness, okay, are carried by X chromosome. And also we have hemophilia. Hemophilia also carried by sex chromosome, which is X, not Y. Okay? Now, focus here with male and female cells. Inside the male cells, as we say, we have two chromosomes, sex chromosomes, which are X and Y. We said that X chromosome is long and Y chromosome is short. Okay. For female, we have also two chromosomes, sex chromosomes, which are X and X. Both are long. Now, if you focus in the picture, you will find that the genes concerned with sex are located on this part in X and in Y chromosomes. So the genes concerned with sex, like sex organs or the position of fat stores, only located on this part of the chromosome. Okay? And the genes which are not concerned with sex, they will be in this part of X chromosomes. So because we don't have another part for Y chromosome, so Y chromosome cannot carry the genes that are not concerned with sex. So the genes that are not concerned with sex, like color blindness or hemophilia, those are carried only in X chromosomes. Okay? And also, X chromosomes show up in the phenotype at the male. So, the male has X and Y. Only X show the phenotype of this male. The Y here only for telling us if this child is male or female. So by presence of Y, so this child is male. Okay. Here they defined sex length again. They said that any gene carried on the sex chromosomes is sex length, such as color blindness and hemophilia. Okay. Now, let's study the first example of the inheritance of color blindness. Okay. For any inherited characteristics, we have to determine which allele is normal or dominant and which allele is recessive. Okay? Now, let's say that C capital is normal allele for color blindness and C small is the mutant allele for color blindness. Now, how do we write the cell chromosomes for this disease or this gene? Actually, for female, we are going to write XX. Sure, we have to write XX to tell the people that this genes for female. Okay, so 2 X chromosomes, and those X chromosomes carry the gene of color blindness. So here we have C capital, C small. So this cell is heterozygous because it has dominant and recessive. So C capital, C small. So this female actually is carrier for the color blindness, but it's not affected. Okay, she's carrying the color blindness gene, but she's not affected. So she's not affected. So she's not color blind. What about the male? Male also has X and Y. We say that presence of Y only to tell us that he is male. And X carries the gene of the color blindness. So this male has C capital. So this male is not color blind. Okay, because he carries the normal allele, so he is not color blind. Okay, now let's see, we have two parents for male XY and for female XX. So the male has the normal allele, so he is not color blind, and the female actually is carrier for the color blindness gene. Now from the genes, here only we take XC because we say that Y only to tell us that the offspring is girl or boy, male or female. And here we have two gametes, XC and Y. Here we have also two gametes, XC capital, XC small. Now what will happen if we make cross test? So XC capital with XC capital. Okay. Now XC capital with Y. So here we have a female and she's not color blind. Here we have a male. Okay, also he is not color blind. Here we have a female. She's not color blind, but she is carrier for the color blind chromosome or the color blind gene. Here XC small with Y. So here we have a male and he is color blind. So XC small with Y, XC small for color blind gene. So Y does not carry any gene. So XC small with Y tells us that this male is color blind. Okay, this for the first example, which is color blindness. So the first thing you have to know which allele is normal and which allele is mutant. Okay, and also you have to know that where are the genes or the chromosomes which carry the genes. And don't forget that Y chromosome cannot carry any gene. Okay, here we have another example, which is hemophilia. Hemophilia, actually genes are H capital and H small. H capital for normal allele and H small for mutant allele. We have XH capital, XH small. So this female is normal phenotype but a carrier of the mutant allele. So she's normal. She don't have hemophilia, but she's carrier for the gene which cause hemophilia. What about the male? XH capital and Y. We say that Y only to tell us that he's male. And XH capital, so this male is normal phenotype. So he is not carry any of the mutant allele. So the male here is normal. He does not have hemophilia. So the gametes for female are XH capital, XH small. For male, XH capital and Y. What about the first generation? We have 2 girls and 2 boys. The first girl is carrier for the mutant allele. The second girl is normal because she does not have any of the mutant allele. What about the 2 males? The first male is carrying the mutant allele. So this male with hemophilia, but this male is normal. So here we have carrier female, here we have normal female, here we have male with hemophilia, and here we have male with normal allele. So those are the 2 examples of genes code for characteristics that are not concerned with sex. Not concerned with sex, color blindness and hemophilia. Okay, now in your book, if you want to highlight the things that we defined, the first one, karyotype. We said also we have sex length, and here they also defined the sex length. Okay, so after studying this lesson, please answer the questions page 207. Good luck.